Hello, everyone. I'm Steve. Mark's at work, and this is Smokey Steve and Mark. Either welcome or welcome back. It is Saturday. Happy Saturday. I thought we'd have a little coffee. It is the weekend, so you know what that means. Coffee today is regular old black coffee, a little bit of vanilla almond milk, and this pumpkin caramel foam that's unsweetened that we got from, it was a gift. It's actually pretty good, I have to say. It does leave a bit of a mustache. So, today we're going to check in again with our friend, Chantal, our fair lady, Foodie Beauty, as she's going by now. One thing I wanted to get out of the way before we talk about anything else. I received more than a few messages saying, Chantal mentioned you in a video. Chantal mentioned you in her latest video. And they gave me the timestamp, 4 minutes and 7 seconds. And this was her last one where she was eating a Popeye's Cajun chicken sandwich. And the reason that they thought it was me is because Chantal mentioned the alleged hypocrisy of someone who was smoking while they were doing a review video. Now, here at Smokey Steve and Mark, we try not to condone unhealthy lifestyle choices. Try to keep things in a positive direction, positive choices, in the interest of health. Excuse me. So, the idea that we would possibly be, singled out by Chantal for that is insane, totally. But put a pin in it because we'll talk about it a little later, okay? So I guess we'll just pick up where we left off, which was a mukbang. Most of these, pretty much all of these are mukbangs this week. So the last one we checked in on was corn dogs and cheese sauce mukbang. And the preamble to this video was, this will be the last mukbang until after my surgery, and then I'll be doing vlogs and the hysterectomy journey. So that was going to be the last mukbang that we were going to see. Now, next is another mukbang titled Milano's Pizza and Fried Cheese Curds Mukbang and Story Time. Now, the only thing I can guess, rather than she just completely changed her mind, is that, might be a little too smoky, I don't know. She filmed them ahead of time. Like, she filmed them all before and she's just releasing them in a different order. So, I mean, I'm not going to go, with that, because there might be she might have just filmed them out of sequence and released them whenever. So, that's no big deal. She talks about having her microphone in her plant, which she names Harry Bush. And then, she wanted to, of course, reiterate, not her own Harry Bush, which some people had asked. Chantal likes a good, little too cute joke, kind of like that here and often. I don't think it's in too poor taste. Mark was watching all these videos with me. I think he would have almost wanted to be here for the reaction, but he had different thoughts, less kind than mine. She said before the mukbang she wasn't going to be discussing her surgery. She was going for hours of testing, and if it wasn't safe, they wouldn't do it. So that set off a little something in the back of my ear, kind of setting up a way for the surgery not to happen. She discusses it in a later video. But for now, at this point, that's where she was at. If it's not safe, they won't do it. She also addresses the previous story in the corn dog video, where she talked about her friend Jessica, who was the pretty girl that kind of stole the guy that Chantal had her eyes on, and then ultimately Jessica ended up homeless and pregnant. So she reiterated, and that she had left something out, rather, not reiterated, that Jessica was very pretty, but had a very troubled life. So that kind of gave context to why Jessica ended up homeless and pregnant at the end of that story. So then she goes into a TMI story for the story time about a guy who she liked as a friend, and they had a fun time hanging out, and they had some sexual chemistry, and the guy apparently was very kind of self-deprecating about his manhood. And Chantal said, quote, size doesn't matter, that she could, quote, get off on a pillow. How can I put this diplomatically? Ballistically, is that the correct word? I'm not sure. And I've had plus-size women who were friends, so I'm speaking from their anecdotes, not my own. I'm not pretending that this happened to me. That a woman of size may have challenges with a partner who is not endowed greatly, just based on the distance that things need to travel in order for things to happen. So we're a PG-13 channel. I'm trying to keep it that way. So to that end, I'm not sure that size doesn't matter. As far as every other thing you can do, like, you know, foreplay and all the other stuff, not that you have to have, you know, the full ta-da. To that end, she says size doesn't matter. So, yeah, that's cool. And I mean, good for her for not being, you know, so prejudicial about gentlemen, I guess. So she tells the story, they get tipsy, they get in the mood, and she talks about some of the uncomfortable things that were happening there. And kind of, there was accusations that she was body shaming him. It sounds to me, I don't know that it sounds like she does exactly. It sounds like he was body shaming himself in this sort of weird erotic kind of thing that was going on. Didn't really get it, so that was the rest of the story time. I think she was accused of some stuff that was a little bit petty. She did say, don't women just take pictures that their guy friends send them that are, you know, nude and show it to their girlfriends. Well, that's kind of lousy. I mean, that's a little bit closer to body shaming when you take what was private and share it with people who were not supposed to see it. But we'll leave that to the historians. Next video was a hysterectomy surgery update. A lot of this stuff, actually, I was glad to hear for her, because despite what she may think, should she watch the videos, I don't know where she got the idea that somebody who's reviewing her smokes, or that could be me, or, you know, she was even talking about me. I do have some genuine concern for how she's doing. Chantal's the kind of girl that I used to hang out with when I was in my 20s. So she does remind me of that. And she reminds me now of those kind of girls going through a hard time. So I don't care. I like Chantal. She probably doesn't like me. If she knew me, she probably wouldn't. I'll like her anyway. So there. She had like 6 hours of testing. They talked about tapering her blood thinners, and some meds had to come off, and then her pre-op treatments, what they're going to do and what they're going to check for when they do the surgery, but they gave her the green light. So she's supposed to be, you know, good to go. She was talking about what kind of videos she wanted for the upcoming week, how she was going to, like, spend time with family and clean the house and prep, and that's the Chantal I like. Chantal in this video is the kind of Chantal that I like. The Chantal who's doing the makeup stuff. Not that I even like makeup or hauls that much, but just the personality, the talking about other stuff. I agree with her that anything related to weight and food draws controversy to her. And frankly, because it makes her defensive or puts her on the offense, those aren't fun to watch. I mean, they get a lot of views because it's drama and stuff like that. But, and drama gets views. I mean, that's how things roll. That's okay. But I don't know. I don't like the volatility of some of the videos that go with the mukbangs and the weight loss stuff. It's a bit much for me. So anyway, surgery looks like it's a go. So the next video is New York Fries Mukbang, No Edit Challenge, Butter Chicken, God, that title was so long, plus Poutine, and Jumbo, and then that cut off. So, No Edit Challenge, and I like to think was, God, Mark and I would win a No Edit Challenge. It's not deliberate, it's just our learning curve is very sharp. Pete's is in this video. I like Pete's. He's creepy, but I like him a lot. He's talking for a little bit about anime on Netflix, some show that he likes. We don't share any similar interests, Pete's and I, but I just like his personality. And Chantal is entranced in what she's eating. Absolutely entranced. I didn't even write down what she eats because it almost doesn't matter anymore. Oh, she was eating a hot dog and poutine and the other stuff. It was in the title. I was so taken aback because as she's eating, he's talking to her and she's like, yeah, wow, this relish is great. It was... And not, I mean, if they've been friends and then exes for that long, they probably have that kind of chemistry that maybe he doesn't mind. Maybe he doesn't mind. He has a couple little digs he gets in later. And then, of course, for a TMI kind of thing, Chantal says, I had an itch down there while she's eating. And she has to announce it. But, you know. Chantal gets possibly some food in her area while she's eating because she doesn't have her tray up. And she says, maybe I should wear a bib. And Pete says, you should always wear a bib. I'm like, oh, God. Pete's is getting his digs in. And then they were talking about poutine and whether it's poutine or poutine. Okay. I believe it is poutine. I mean, they're Canadian. I'm say what you want. I think they would know better than me. I'm just saying. But when they were talking about having gravy on stuff, and she was like, I know how it's pronounced. I'm French. And Pete chimes in and says, her blood is 80% gravy. She knows what she's talking about. I was dead. Her blood is 80% gravy. And she was laughing along with it, but I mean, I thought that was a little harsh. I mean, that was harsher than anything I would probably say to her. So, and then there was this little mystery back and forth they had. And I know things build suspense, but I don't like stuff like that. Though I guess some things are personal. At any rate, Pete invited her and said, there's a movie going on Sunday. And Chantal said, well, I'm not sure I can go. And he said, do you have an appointment or something? I think probably thinking medical appointment for her upcoming stuff. And she says, I have to tell you off camera. So that could mean a couple things. It could mean I'm trying to build suspense. It could mean I'm trying to bury a lie. Or it could mean it's very private and I don't want to say it on camera. I'm not going to guess. It could be any one of those things. So she done a hospital haul from Amazon of things she's going to bring with her when she goes in for surgery. And I just kind of made a list of some of this stuff. It was like a gym bag, some socks, earplugs, slippers. She did get some protein shakes. They were like vegan. She got about, I don't know, 24 of them. And she kind of tried to let people know, or tried to, this was her explanation, that behind the scenes of the mukbang, she tries to eat well and eat nutritious food. And she said after the surgery, especially in order to heal properly, her body will need that. That's accurate. One could argue that going into surgery, having nutritious food could build you up too. But again, behind the mukbangs, she's suggesting she's doing something different. So, she did say she has one more mukbang to put out and then surgery-related videos. So again, I'm kind of thinking where she says, my last mukbang, and then there's like 3 more. I'm guessing they were all just recorded and she dropped them at different times. I'm thinking that's a conclusion I came to. So then we go to Cajun chicken sandwich. Foodie Beauty tries Cajun chicken sandwich at Popeyes. And it's framed so that Popeyes is like through the window. She's eating in the car. All bets are off. I'm not even going to bring up anymore that she's eating in the car, she's eating fast food, because she's in a spot now where that's not important to her anymore. And she says as much in this last video. So it's not worth bringing up because it's not her priority. It's not like she feels like it's something she should be aiming to do and is struggling with. It's something that she's given up on and has decided that's not a route she's going to go at the moment. So I'm not going to hold her to a standard that she's not even trying to hold her for herself. I mean, that really would be invasive of me. It's enough that I'm commenting on her decisions and reflecting on my own decisions while watching hers. It kind of does that. Watching her holds a mirror up to me of my own choices and how I'm making them and how they might pan out. So at any rate, she's got the tray out. She's got the Popeyes in the background. She's got the chicken sandwich and the fries. She acknowledges that in the past she's had inconsistent material. This is true. But she said her mind has changed and her new attitude is my weight, my health. What I eat is my business. Yeah, it is your business. What I do with all those is my business too. I don't eat on camera, though. I don't monetize what I eat. So there's not a comment section after each of my meals. I don't open the door to strangers and say, you want to tell me about what you think about what I ate? So there's a different angle to that, I suppose. And none of us are drafted to YouTube. Like, none of us have to be here. No one has to watch either. I mean, she raises that point. If you don't like it, don't watch. So, I mean, she has a leg to stand on there. But none of us are forced to be on YouTube either. So, And then someone did a reaction to me while smoking. Okay. 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 Let's just take a second here. Because again, I'm not saying that it was me who was smoking and doing a review. There's a lot of other people on YouTube. Okay. And Chantal is under the impression that everybody who does a reaction watches every one of her videos and reacts to every single one. As to smoking, in comparison to someone who has decided to dive in to doing mukbangs and eating whatever they want and not throwing any caution to the wind with that. And she suggested, why don't smokers get the same crap? You know, who would a smoker be to comment on her unhealthy lifestyle choices? Well, her unhealthy lifestyle choices are on YouTube. Okay. Mine would be too. You know, if I have a cigarette in my hand while I'm talking. But there's a few subtle differences. I'm not pretending that my habits are all right. I've never condoned it. You know, you have Popeyes in the background of yours. I don't have a big poster of Philip Morris in the background over here. I'm not trying to get you know, I'm not trying to get advertising from them, okay? It's not the center of my channel. You know, it's not the focus of my channel. It's just something that happens while I'm talking, sometimes. I'm not chain smoking a carton in 20 minutes, so I'm not binge smoking. I'm not binge smoking while looking at the camera. I'm not trying to identify an audience of people who like watching people smoke and solicit their attention exclusively. I'm not monetizing that. So I'm not making a channel just about that and then trying to gain money off of it. There's a difference there too. I don't do it for views. You know, it's not like I look at mine, I'm like, oh, I had a cigarette in that video and I got another. My views are, granted, many, many, many times less than Chantal's. But I got, oh, my views are 20% more on that video because I smoked during it. Maybe I'll smoke twice as much, and twice as much, and twice as much. I don't pretend every 2.5 weeks to quit and then come back afterwards. So, I don't become a snobby ex-smoker even when I do pretend to quit. You all know snobby ex-smokers, especially if you're a smoker yourself. I didn't make 4 dozen videos leading people to believe I was quitting only to start over and over and over and over, and then catch an attitude with people that were concerned about me and tell them, mind your own business, it's my life. Too bad, so sad, sorry you cared. Not doing that anymore. You know, I remember, and also in the video she was, you know, saying I don't want to be living to be 70 to 80, eating kale, what you deny yourself today, you'll binge on later. There is some logic to that. There definitely is. I'm not taking that away from her. But how often are we denying ourselves, really? You know, I didn't deny myself junk food when I was on my weight loss journey. I ate it every day. So my blood work probably wasn't going to be stellar. I'd be thinner when I was done. I don't know that I was healthier when I was done. Taking off 90 pounds probably didn't hurt. The priority was to get the weight off. So I was able to do that. But if I'm, you know, never not eating junk, then when am I depriving myself enough that I'm afraid I'm going to binge? So, the idea that there's people out there who, you know, are enablers that kind of solicit, like, help out a person who's doing bad behaviors, and the people who, if I'm trying to quit smoking and I invite my viewers to hold me accountable to that, and then I have a setback or I quit, and then they do attempt to hold me accountable, and I relabel them as haters because it's not what I want to do anymore. This is my life. It's my channel. If you don't like it, whatever. And the concerned people try to intervene, and I take their concern and say, go away. And then I run to get the attention of the people who like me the way I am, however unhealthy and however bad my choices are, and invite their attention. I'm talking about feeders, okay? And try to draw their attention and draw this. Those are enablers. Someone who is encouraging you to engage in an activity that could lead to your poor health or death is an enabler. No matter, someone can smile to your face and still be handing you something that could be killing you. You know, they don't have to, it doesn't have to be so. I know food addiction and drug addiction and alcohol addiction seem very different, but a lot of the feelings are the same. A lot of the behaviors are the same, you know, and leaving the people who are concerned for you and running to the people who like you just the way you are, even though just the way you are is not quite well, is not helpful. It wasn't helpful to me. It wasn't helpful to me. I'll keep it on me. It wasn't helpful to me. I have concerns that it's not helpful to you. So it's all your business. You know, don't mention, if you don't want to mention your weight, don't mention your weight. You know, that's okay. I suspect, though I don't know, that over a long period of time for watching your videos, that this won't be the same for a while. I suspect that after having surgery, you know, your channel's content will change for a while. You had mentioned in the recent video, it'd be hard to drive. So if you can't get in the car mukbangs, it would be hard. Eating after surgery might be hard. So the content, I guess, would have to change for a little while. I don't know. I mean, I don't have too much more to say about that. I hope I wasn't a little more salty than usual, but I felt that there wasn't a fair comparison being made. And again, here at Smokey Steve and Marc, we do not condone unhealthy choices at all. Okay? To each their own. We can all live our lives any way that we please. We can learn from each other. We can have a dialogue. We can observe each other's channels and make comments back and forth and learn and grow and be inspired. Feel free to leave comments below, one way or the other. And thank you all for watching. So that's where our girl is left this week. It sounds like 3 days. I think it's like 3 days. She's supposed to go in for surgery. So I'm going to say this with all the love and compassion I can have for another person. And this is something I mean sincerely. This isn't like a sarcastic bit of BS like I've kind of been doing for a little while now. Thoughts and well wishes for her in surgery. Surgery is scary. I don't care how she's dealing with it, if she's binging every day, if she's angry, if she's I almost said hate drinking, you know, the kind of drinking where you're pissed. She was like hate eating those French fries in Popeye's videos so bad. Whatever you think of her, someone going into surgery, it's scary, you know. I'll be keeping her in mind. Assuming the surgery goes on, I'll be keeping her in mind. So, that's all. So thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed Coffee Talk. Please subscribe, hit the bell, get the alerts, hit the like button. You can follow Marc and I on Facebook at SmokeySteveAndMarc or on Instagram at SmokeySteveAndMarc. Our email and contact information is below. Thank you for watching, and we will catch up with y'all tomorrow. Bye.